Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the NFL Bell. This is breaking down the Week 7 slate of the NFL season. Joined with me is my co-host, Mr. Lou Betcha, as always. Lou, how are you doing today? And how excited are you to not have a guest this week?
I don't know why this fucking webcam is doing what it's doing. Yeah, I mean, God forbid, maybe next time we get a guest that won't just give us chalk plays. That'd be awesome. I know he's on to Hollywood now. We'll never forget. I forgot his name already. We'll never forget though.
We will be there. No, but first and foremost, before we even dive into this slate, shout out to the chat, Jared, Evan, Piezo, Evan again. Listen, Evan, you had a couple of good bets last week and a decent chunk of them cashed, so props to you. I like that. I like that. Our guy Luke. Hey, I tried telling you, and I don't want to hear nothing about no Devontae Parker dropped the pass. I don't
the safety didn't help.
The safety didn't help, but it is the Patriots, and they will Patriot. So don't say I didn't tell you. Justin, you know what? I might have something that will please you today about the Raiders. Our guy Seba. Yeah, Evan, you owe a shotgun. Please and thank you. I will be expecting that on Twitter. Let's move on from that. First game of the slate. We have the Jaguars going up against the Saints. New Orleans are 1.5-point favorites with a total set at 39.5. First half lines are favoring New Orleans by the same line at 1.5 with the over-under set at 19.5. Lou, why don't you kick us off with this one?
Terrific. We don't know if Lawrence is playing. If he is, I don't know that I care. I would take the under here. The public's, hit it down. I would tend to agree. New Orleans is just alarmingly bad on offense. And I have an interesting stat here so not only is New Orleans 0-6 against the spread, they were favorites in 5 of those games. And they're the favorites now. So, I'd lean Jacksonville just based on that. As far as props, there's just no way. I can't get involved in anything here. If anything, if you have to play a prop, I'm just going to go back to the Rashid Shaheed, whatever his longest reception is, because he's like a fucking gold mine for me. But I don't even think I want to get involved in this game. My book offers the $20 same game parlay, and you get the free bet. I'm not even sure I want to waste $20 on this game. It's that bad. That's three. That's like one craft beer across the street.
Yeah, this game is really weird. I mean, we don't know if Lawrence is playing on a short week. Even if he is playing, at what capacity, given that he just played on Sunday. And it wasn't the biggest injury, but it's still something coming off of a short week. These players are going to be tired. And it's going for both teams. No team has a rest advantage over the other. But I think the Saints are just a little bit healthier. They have the better defense, in my opinion, too. So I got to side with the Saints here, but am I betting this game? Yes, but not regular size. If anything, I'll probably just throw a half unit on the Saints money line and take it from there because I don't like any of the props. Weird game overall for this Thursday night, and I don't want to go anywhere near it with all the injury news going on. So we can move on.
I did tweet out a way to bet this game that I thought was the perfect way to play it, and that's play the alt under. Whatever the lowest number they'll give you is, bet the alt under at plus 3-something odds. And then either you could turn it off at halftime when you lost, or all of a sudden you could hit on a nice juicy ticket. So yeah, the Saints are banged up as well, man. Here we go, Wiz. Another divisional battle. Ooh. The team that fucked me over royally two teams that fucked me over last week, actually. The Falcons, Desmond Ridder is the goddamn worst player. He's the worst player in the league. They're somehow 3-3. They're the worst coach team. They're the second worst coach team in the league behind the Chargers. And they're at Tampa Bay. He's not even a field goal favorite. Just showing how disgraceful both this is. Both teams have some glaring weaknesses, and somehow Tampa's in first place because the South is really, really bad. Wiz, what do you got on this one?
I need you to say it first.
What?
Mayfield's
awesome.
Get
rid of him.
Get rid of him.
I mean, who has played for the Falcons that could have played in this game, right?
Yeah, come on now.
Jeff George could have played in this
I
game.
knew it was coming.
The
I knew it was
legend.
coming. Get rid of him. So, I mean, look, the Falcons are a team that I will continue to fade moving forward. They fucking suck. And I think in the passing lanes, Godwin and Mike Evans are gonna have a field day here. I'm tempted on the money line rather than the spread because we can't really trust either of these teams. Only Atlanta, like with the totals, are good against the spread. Tampa Bay mixed results, 3-2. I just think they have the overall better offense with a defense that does stand up and support them, especially with them being in first place. I mean, each win does matter. I know how shitty this division is, but I think Tampa can pull away here with big chunk plays going towards Evan and Godwin. I do think, though, what I'm going to be targeting rather than the money line would be the Evans longest reception total, whatever it's at, or just the Evans receiving yards. It takes me off of the risk of the Falcons somewhat looking like a miracle team, and if Tampa Bay is down, they're going to be airing it out, and their most likely target's going to be Evans. So, give me the Evans receiving total, and I lean towards the money line for the Bucks, but nothing else in this game.
Another tremendous total,
Oh
39
yeah,
and a half and 38 and a half to start
oh
the
yeah.
show.
Well, you didn't go on
Boy,
that one.
huh?
You didn't go on that game.
Oh, do I have to? I
You don't
lean
have
Tampa.
to if you don't have any.
I lean Tampa Bay. No play, no trust.
Fair enough to me. Jeff George count moves up to 7-0. Thank you for keeping count, Jerry.
Greatest streak in sports history. I
Nothing.
bring it up on every. I bring it up on every UFC show too. So it's not like it's just unique to this.
Well, Justin, ears wide open, please. We have the Raiders going up against the Bears. The Raiders are 3-point favorites, and that's because Justin Fields is out. The over/under set at 37.5. Raiders are favored by 1.5 at halftime, with the over/under set at 17.5. Mr. LouBetya.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for a prop on this, and shout out to Jared Curry, who I talked to during the week, and he's digging around some props. But I'm with him. I don't think there's a rushing attempt number for Jacobs that I wouldn't hit. Garoppolo is not going to play, so it's either Hoyer. It's probably going to be Hoyer. I don't think they want Aiden O'Connell playing on the road yet, so it's probably going to be Hoyer. He actually looked all right last week. I mean, he's a vet.
Yeah.
He's going to be a game manager here. The Bears are. I mean, they said Field isn't ruled out yet, but like,
Come on. Yeah.
he couldn't hold the ball last week. Like, if he was hurt enough where Badgett had to play the rest of the game. So I debated also throwing in a prop with Foreman. But the problem is it seems like the Bears just want to they want to do this kind of timeshare with all their backs
Yeah,
that
what
they
the
have
fuck
right
was
now.
that last week?
I mean, Foreman got there, but
The last fucking 5 minutes.
I mean, I think Rashawn Johnson should be back. And this Darrington Evans, they gave him tons of carries. So you may get a three-headed monster. So I'm kind of hesitant to play. I kind of want to stay away from any of them. And I think if one of them starts having a big day, Evans had some decent runs. I think if he gets 5 carries for 50 yards, they may just kind of ride the wave or until he tears his ACL, then just throwing Foreman, throwing Rashawn Johnson. So I'm hesitant to play any of these Bears props. I know this sounds like a crazy thing to say. I contemplated the over here. The Bears their defense is still really bad. And I think even with Hoyer, the Raiders could probably hit a couple of deep shots and score 24-27. And it's not like the Raiders D-line is good. I mean, the Bears might be able to score in the second half by just continuously running the ball and tiring them out. So I thought about the over, and it's one of these things where the weather doesn't matter here for the over. It's just going to happen on the ground. So I thought about it, but I think I'm just going to stick with Jacobs as a prop here. If it's anything under 20, I'll probably just crush it. He's probably going to get 30. He might get 30 carries in this game.
I wouldn't be surprised. And for me, Justin, this is why I said open up your ears, because I'm taking the Raiders -2.5. Man, I think Hoyer is a better quarterback than Garoppolo, just being honest. Accuracy-wise.
He's not. He's not.
I think
Absolutely
so.
not.
That's what I think.
He's not.
Garoppolo
Spoiler alert, he's not.
What has he shown? What has Garoppolo shown?
Well, he's gotten paid more. So
yeah, money-wise,
the
net
teams
earnings
that The teams that know these kind of things think that he's better than Hoyer. But Matt Stroud got a big contract too, instead of Matt Flynn. So what do I know?
Here's the thing. I think he's a more accurate passer. He can grow and go for the deep ball, which I don't think Garoppolo is even comfortable with, throwing all these interceptions. I think this is a good spot for them against a very weak Bears defense that A, cannot contain the run, and B, cannot contain the deep pass. Their defense is just all around shit. And I'm not trying to vouch for the Raiders in any way here for obvious reasons, because Justin is in the chat. But I do think they win this game. I think they cover, but I'll buy the half point to get it at 2.5, and I'm going to take the Josh Jacobs rushing totals, just whatever it is, because the Bears' rushing defense is abysmal, and he could probably get 40 yards in one rush in the first quarter if he wanted to.
By the way, everybody's mentioning Michigan State in the chat because of Hoyer. Michigan State's plus 24.5 against Michigan this weekend.
Yeah, if you guys
hammer spot Michigan State, Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Never forget the punt block. They always play this team close.
But yeah, we can move on from this one. This one is also disgusting.
All right. Another barn burner.
Let me set you up.
That's four straight games
of
totals under 40. Cleveland at Indy. Cleveland coming off killing everybody's suicide pools, probably. I don't know I hope Luke's still alive in his.
I am glad that I took the Kansas City Chiefs.
The legendary XFL stalwart PJ Walker came in, played a decent game. Couple of mistakes that almost cost him at the end, but played a good game. At Indy, who I liked Indy to cover last week, and that game I got to cross that one off in the first quarter. That was done. Minshew looked terrible. They didn't really use Jonathan Taylor a lot. So I don't know, Wiz. Do you have a way to play this game? Cleveland's on the road on a big win. It's hard to trust Indy's offense against Cleveland. Yet, do you trust Cleveland as a road favorite?
I have one way to play this game.
Don't.
As easy as that. Don't. I'm completely passing on this one. Ugly game. And I would rather watch paint drying than watching this game. Truth.
Yeah.
Lie detector.
Yeah. I don't know how you play this game. I don't know how Indy can score. And I don't trust PJ Walker and the Browns on the road. So I would, again, lean the under. I think 39.5 is actually like a really high number for this game. But I don't know. I might just take a bunch of first half unders and be like, good, I don't have to sweat it for like 3 hours. Just a bunch of quick hitters. But yeah, finally a good game, Wiz.
Oh, thank God. Jesus Christ, I was falling asleep. We have the Lions going up against the Ravens. The Ravens are 3-point favorites. They open at 2.5. The total set at 42.5, opened at 45, so we have some steam towards the under. Baltimore favored by 1.5 in the first half, with the total set at 20.5. Mr. Lou.
Yeah, this is my first sizable bet, and this is not a slight at somebody in the chat, but I love Baltimore here, and I like them pretty big here. And there's a couple of reasons. Is first of all, it's going to be like 25-mile-an-hour winds, and Detroit does not have any running backs right now. Like, nobody's healthy in their backfield. So I heard a rumor they were talking about trading for Saquon Barkley. I don't know what Detroit could possibly. I don't think that's real. So the problem is, do I trust Jared Goff to be able to win this game in 25-mile-an-hour winds in the air? And the answer is no, I do not. On the Ravens side, again, Detroit's a dome team too, on top of that. Then you have Baltimore. It's going to be a cold, windy day. You have the threat of the run. Their backfield is starting to get at least a little bit healthier. And I think that Mark Andrews is going to be able to just catch 10-yard passes. He's not going to have to go downfield. I think Lamar Jackson's going to be able to hit him. The one thing I want to mention is this is going to be the hardest matchup that Laporta's ever had in the NFL as well. Ravens linebacking core are very good against tight ends this year. So a lot of reasons I like Baltimore here. And I'll add one more thing, because I like Detroit. It's hard not to root for the Detroit Lions. Dude, they play hard. They play well. I like Campbell. There's a lot to like about Detroit. Here's the thing. If they need to lose a game, this is the one they can lose. It's out of conference. They have a massive lead in a really bad division. You don't ever want to lose games. But, what's Detroit's reasonable expectation in terms of playoff seeding when the year comes around? 3? Could they be the 3 seed? I feel like the Niners and the Eagles are still 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I think Detroit could easily be the 3. They're going to get a home game in the
4.
playoffs. They're going to get a home game in the playoffs one way or the other is my point. So, like I said, you're just going to have games where your whole team's hurt. It happens in the NFL. If you need to kind of be okay losing a game, I feel like this is the one. Baltimore really can't afford to lose, man, because since he's starting to look good, Cleveland's pulling out wins, and Pittsburgh, which we will get to, like, is somehow hanging around at 3 and 2. So that's a tough division. I think Baltimore needs it more. I favor them so much more in these weather conditions. So Baltimore, and this is my favorite bet of the 1 p.m. slate.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and it's only because of those wins. They're not going to be able to pass the ball, and with all the injuries with the running backs, I mean the Lions are pretty much toast. And Ravens, similar to what you said about the linebacker core being tough against these tight ends, Laporta is not going to be open all that much, even if they're looking to pass to him. But the one thing that scares me here is that Detroit has proven that they don't really need a running back. They do all these jet sweeps with Amon-Ra that work out great. And then now Jamison Williams is healthy. He's also involved with those jet sweeps. So they're not going to be able to do it every single drive, but it's something to keep an eye out for because it's a real threat. And the blocking when they do those jet sweeps, it gets them the 10, 15 yards that they need. But just the overall, the better team running the ball at the moment is going to be the Baltimore Ravens without a doubt. I mean, it goes without saying. Lamar Jackson's going to be active. You have all the other running backs for the Ravens. So I'd buy the half point, take the Ravens at -2.5, and like you said, this is my most confident at the 1 p.m. slate too. Or I was about to say 10 a.m. my time, but that don't matter.
Eastern time's all that matters.
Never.
Divisional rivalry with a pretty big spread. Buffalo at New England. New England, just another disastrous loss last week. They actually played better, but still just almost like the worst loss they've had because they were teased by it. Buffalo, I mean, I don't know what the hell to say about Buffalo after last week, man. 3 quarters of doing nothing. A lot of injuries piling up, and still the Patriots are bad. They're -8.5 on the road. They've had success recently in this matchup. Wiz, what do you got?
Yeah, this is a teaser spot for me for the Buffalo Bills. I don't think they're going to have another stinker like last week where they deserve to lose. That was pass interference, holding, whatever you want to call it, on Waller in the end zone. That was game. But that's for another conversation. Yeah, I think the Bills probably run away with this one. I like the first half -4.5. Depending on what the first half team total is, if it's more than 13.5, then I'll likely just take the first half line instead, just because we saw what happened last week, and all it takes is a couple of plays for the Bills to fuck up and miss that total.
12.5 -12.5, 136.
All right, cool. Then I'm taking the team total over in the first half. I mean, the one biggest or the two biggest things I look for in these first half team totals is A, time of possession for the opposition. Patriots' time of possession is ranked like bottom 5, and Mac Jones has had the likeliness of throwing interceptions in pretty much every game this season. Pairing those two together, the Patriots aren't going to be on the field for all that often. So even if the Bills do tend to fuck up a little bit and fuck around, I think they still hit that 12.5 at a pretty high clip. So this is my favorite bet on the overall slate if it is under the 2 touchdown zone. And yeah, I'll be taking the Bills first half team total as a big bet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do anything here. I may tease it. It's going to be a really windy day. It's going to be like, and it's going to start being really fucking cold. I don't know, man. Just something tells me to lay off this one. My instincts are telling me some fuckery is going to happen. Good luck to you on the first half bet. I think 2 touchdowns. I think 13.5 would have been fine here too, because field goals might be really tricky. I know Bass is really good, but like if it's going to be like swirling, especially in the Patriots, it's a hard stadium to kick in with swirling winds. So I think the Bills could probably just score 2 touchdowns and call it a day. But
Luke, I'm right there with you with the Bills this week on the Survivor.
I just don't like these. I'm telling you, it's this both rules it's going against. But we're getting to that point in the season now where like it's a road team and it's a divisional game. Like I typically don't like spots like this, but it still feels safe.
If the Bills blew out the Giants last week, I wouldn't be as comfortable.
If the Bills blew
I'll
out
say
the
that.
Giants, they would be minus. Well, I don't even know if it would be that different, man. Honestly,
No, I'm
because
just
the
talking
Patriots
about.
are so bad.
I'm just talking about locker room wise. Like they're
Yeah.
probably going to come into this game with something to prove. Like, hey, you guys just only scored 14 points on the New York Giants, who have been absolutely fucking horrendous all year. Speaking of the Giants,
For the record, before you hand it to me, I made this slide 2 days ago before he testified in court today. I made this on Monday. So I told you, I'm like, I nailed this one. And then seeing what happened today in the news, I really nailed this one. Say it. Say it,
we
Wiz.
have the Washington Commander Salutes going up against the New York Giants. Washington 2-point favorites opened at 1.5. Total set at 39.5. Opened at 41.5. With the first half line favoring the Washington Commander Salutes at 1.5 points, with the over/under set at 19.5. Great job. Great. That's good. That is amazing.
Well, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I have been wrong with the Commander Salutes every game this year. Every single game. I think I'm 0 for the season on them. So I'm going to pick them to win this game.
Yes. No.
I've been wrong about them every game.
No,
I'm
don't.
picking them to win. What, you want to
No.
tank? Are we
Tank.
tanking?
Tank.
Huh? Okay, I'm picking the Giants.
Yeah, thank God.
The line's getting a little healthier. Andrew Thomas is back. Like, I think
I
Pugh's.
think so.
So they may be able to run the ball better. I still don't know who's playing quarterback. Jones said he might be able to play, but at this point, like,
Tyrod looked good.
I don't know if he looked good.
I mean, compared to what we're used to.
I mean, let's say you had a plus 4,000 ticket on first touchdown scorer and you had Isaiah Hodgins. And let's say you have to throw the ball with 13 seconds left in the half. And then let's add to that Isaiah Hodgins is the only receiver the Giants had in the field. I felt like I had a chance to hit that bet. And then they ran the ball because reasons. I don't know. So did he look good? He didn't look good in that play. But
it was his first game starting in so
I
long.
mean, I think it's look, let's put it this way. I don't think the Giants should be a home dog to Washington here. I just don't. I know Washington's coming off and I think the problem with me betting Washington this year is that they bounce back and forth between wins and losses. Like they look bad against Arizona, so they get undervalued next game. Like they got killed by the Bears, they're undervalued against the Falcons. Like I feel like the odds makers don't really know what to do with this team right now.
Nope.
But I don't think the Giants. I feel like the Giants should probably have been -3 here. I'm not saying the Giants are good. I'm saying it just seems like a weird spot with crappy teams at home where the Giants should have been given the obligatory 3. That's it.
Yeah, well, historically, if you look at it, we've always beaten the Redskins, the Commander Salutes, and last season we beat them both meetings. The season before, I believe we split 1-1. But when we beat them, it's like we're winning with margin. Not saying it's the same situation. Washington has a new quarterback, and the Giants are the Giants. I do lean towards the Giants side. Am I betting this game? Fuck no, I'm not. This is one of the. I thought last week's slate was bad until I looked at this week's slate. So it's a lot of passing for me this slate. But my heart says Giants. I hope they lose because we want to tank and get a better quarterback. That's my thought. I know we just paid Daniel Jones 160 million.
Well, you can't get Caleb Williams now because he wants ownership.
No one's going to give him ownership.
No, there's a lot of good
Caleb.
There's a lot of good quarterbacks in this.
There's a lot. Give me Michael Penix. Give me Michael Penix.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about him. He's having a good year.
Give me Geno Jr.
He's having a good year, but I have some mixed feelings about how I feel about him. But all right, we're on to the late window, and this is definitely a game that I have a big play on here already. But Arizona at Seattle. Arizona, they're starting to look shitty. They're starting to they are who we thought they were, as Art Shell would have said when he coached this team. At Seattle, who crushed me last week. I'll take ownership of my bets because I had Seattle plus 3.5. And my God, dude, red zone error after red zone error after. I didn't think Cincinnati played particularly good. Seattle just shot themselves in the foot. The O line of Seattle got murked repeatedly by Cincy. Like when Geno had time, he was throwing picks. When he didn't have time, he was getting crushed. I don't think that'll be a problem here. What do you got on this game?
Yeah, I think this is a big bounce back spot for the Seahawks, and I think the line indicates that. Obviously, for me, the biggest two bets in this game is going to be the Kenneth Walker rushing total over, and I'm going to take the brain fart. DK Metcalf receiving total over. Those two, I think, should be fine in this spot. I think DK Metcalf covers that line probably in the first half, and they go up big. They just start rushing Kenneth Walker throughout the rest of the game, and he gets his yardage total. Uh, Cardinals defense has been god awful, and they've proven it time and time again that they cannot stop the run. So I really like, out of the two, I do favor the Kenneth Walker rushing total more, but you got to think DK clears his receiving total very easily against this corner core. So those are the two bets I'm looking for here. And then the Seahawks are going to be a teaser piece for me.
Believe it or not, the weather's not even going to be that bad.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a huge windy day. So
yep.
Yeah, I like all the two props you mentioned. They're fine. Maybe get Bobo in there, just for the culture. Nice Jake Bobo prop. He had a nice game last week. But for me, Seattle team total over 26.5. I think they just absolutely shake off last week. Like I said, I mean, look, the game happened. Bad teams make turnovers, and I get that. But there's a universe where they score 42 points last week. They were driving the field, no problem. Every drive. I don't know. They might have had 1 3 and out the whole game. And that's against a team that I rate their defense. I don't think Cincinnati has a great defense. A decent front four, but a way better defense than Arizona. And I think with Arizona now, we're also starting to see this is one of the better 1-5. If they're tanking, they're doing an excellent job of masking that they're tanking. So we'll see. I mean, Kyron Williams, who I do not think is anywhere near, and a hot take, he's not as good as Kenneth Walker. Had 150-some yards last week. In a script were they knew the Rams were just running the whole second half. So, yeah, I don't know what the Cardinals think they're going to do here. They're only going to be more and more beat up as the
what do you think?
I don't know. Honestly, probably Penix does. But I think Bo Nix has the higher ceiling. That's just
for sure.
But I've also, you have to understand that I watched both of them play at other schools. And it's funny because Bo Nix wasn't good at Auburn, but Auburn's also been a fucking disaster offensively for 12, 13 years. And Penix was at Illinois or Indiana, and they don't know how to score points either. So I think you put them both in systems where they can actually unleash the way they play QB. And you saw it on Saturday. They were just slinging it all over the field. I think
with a good offensive line, that's all.
Maybe, I don't know. I like Bo Nix a little better. I think he because he can run. I just think he's a better pocket passer. I think with Penix, I don't know, man. I don't like his mechanics, man. There's a lot of sidearm shit. I don't like that, quite honestly,
or Drake May.
Drake May is a scrub. He's going to be
okay.
North Carolina quarterbacks are not good. Sam Howell, not good. Mitch Trubisky, the fucking worst. Don't draft QBs from North Carolina. Don't. Michael Jordan, okay. He's fine. The quarterback, not the basketball player.
You should have said that.
Go ahead. This is my game, I guess. Go ahead.
We have the Steelers at the Rams. The Rams are 3-point favorites with a total set at 43.5. First half line favoring the Rams by 1.5 with the over-under set at 21.5.
Yeah, I have another play that I like a lot. I like Pittsburgh, and I like Pittsburgh quite big here at 3.5. So the Rams, we talked about Detroit not having running backs. The Rams don't have any. They don't even have practice squad running backs at this point. Evans, Zach Evans, I think, is their running back this week. Dude, they're trying to convince Minnesota to give him back Cam Akers. That's how bad it's gotten. So I don't like the Rams being one-dimensional here against Pittsburgh. I also like the under big. And actually, the way I'm probably going to play this is first half under and then Pitt to cover as a little plus 250 same game parlay. It's weird that Pitt's 3-2. I don't know how the fuck they're 3-2 because their 2 losses, they've been absolutely just destroyed. Houston destroyed them. The Niners I was on. By the way, I was on Pittsburgh for both those games. I was on Pittsburgh for both those games. But I've also been on the right side of Pittsburgh with Cleveland, with Baltimore. I feel like I've been betting Pittsburgh all year. I'm not threatened by Pittsburgh offensively, but coming off bye week, The one thing, Deontay Johnson might play in this game, whether he does or he doesn't. Pickens and Pickett has become a nice little connection. They're starting to use Freiermuth more. I don't know why they've gone away from him. He's a beast. And I don't know that I trust the Rams secondary here. I think Pitt can get a few big plays. I think Pitt can win this game. Nice, ugly 17-14 game. I don't know, man. The Rams are going to be so one-dimensional. And Stafford, even last week against Arizona, there still seems, we saw it against Indy, saw in this game, I still feel like there's something off about him right now. So give me Pitt, give me the under. Confident.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same side only for the sole reason that the Rams don't have any running backs. And if they did have Kyron Williams in this game and the line was the same, I'd be taking the Rams.
What about they get Gurley back? Sign Todd Gurley.
Young, he's gonna get arthritis in the first play. You'd be like, I'm out.
Just gonna go down at the 1 yard line, fuck over fantasy owners and people betting the spread everywhere.
Yeah, so I like the Steelers here. I think just for the sole fact that the Rams are super one-dimensional. Am I gonna take it? I'm still thinking. It wasn't on my official bet list so far. I need to look into it a little bit more, but this is a weird game. I'm just gonna side with the under for now, but yeah, Steelers at +3. If you buy the half, should be fine. The Rams really aren't blowing out anyone, and especially with no running back, I'm just gonna stay away. So give me the Steelers going against my home team.
I need Luke, who I trust, to confirm this. I know I trust you too, but you've been doing the show. This breaking news happened since we started. They've just announced Jake Paul against Nate Diaz 2. It's in December. The why is a very good question here. And I don't know, man. I cashed a nice fat +510 with a boost Jake Paul decision ticket last time. Can't really see it going any differently.
No, Nate was getting like freaking ragdolled.
I mean, Nate won on the street. He won the, street rules. He won.
Street rules. He wins all the time. It's like 9 out of 10.
And that's all we can ask for. Chargers and at the Chiefs. The Chargers, the worst coach team in NFL history. I made the comment that I can't believe they let Staley get on the plane, even though they were in LA. I stand by that statement. I'm shocked that they would, what's up, dude? I'm shocked that they would. I don't know why he still has a job. Let that girl who's going viral coach this fucking team at this point.
He just looks lost on the sidelines. There's no input.
You had a bet on Dallas last week. You got a little bit lucky because the refereeing was, you got lucky because the reffing was terrible. And also because Dak went away from the idea that was working, which was just throw to CeeDee Lamb every single play.
No, I didn't get lucky.
Throw him every play, dude.
I got very unlucky. What are you talking about? First half, that pass to Michael Gallup where he got held for a touchdown. Nope, no call.
No, I'm saying you got lucky because it was very clear the referees were trying to fuck over the Cowboys.
Yeah,
and Staley would not allow it. He's like, we don't need to win this game.
The Staleys.
So at the Chiefs, who everybody's complaining that they don't look the same, they're not as dominant. Dude, they're 4-2 against the number. Were they impressive beating Denver? Not really, but they still only allowed 8 points. Dude, their defense is playing really well. Their identity is very different this year. But it's 5.5 in divisional game, Wiz. And this totals, it seems high to me. What do you got?
Yeah, I actually like the Chargers in this spot on the spread. The Chargers have historically played the Chiefs really close, and I don't think it's any different here. What's the Chiefs' weakness? We've been saying it all year. It's the deep ball, and that just seems to be Herbert's only weapon. But the one thing that concerns me this time around is that glove on his left hand is clearly affecting him. The release is a little bit slower than usual, and that's just going to cause a little bit of a problem here, especially with Frank Clark rumored to be coming back and all that. And they just got McCole Hardman traded today. So Mahomes has another familiar face to throw to. But with all that being said, I'm still probably going to be taking the +5.5 on the Chargers. Not anything crazy, just for a unit, but just a system play based on a division rivalry that has historically played close in the past, and the Chargers have dominated the ball for the most part in possession. So give me the Chargers here.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Games this year for the Chargers, they lost to the Dolphins by 2. They lost to the Titans by 3. They beat the Vikings by 4. They beat the Raiders in what would be considered a blowout for the Chargers by 7. They lose to the Cowboys by 3. Every fucking game they play. And I just read this year's stats. If I went to last year, I can't imagine it's like, here, hold on. I have it up. I may as well. Yeah, I'm just going to go in order. Wild card round, lose by 1. Broncos lose by 3. They blew out the Rams. They blew out the Colts. And 3-point win, 6-point win, 4-point loss, 1 point. Like every game they play is a 3-point game.
Yeah.
So you're giving me any spread that's more than 3, I take it.
Yeah, nothing's been a blowout.
So you mentioned it's a system play. I think it's a pretty goddamn good system play. It's what this team does, dude.
Mm-hmm. They love playing against the Chiefs.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
I love this game. I like this game, so I'm glad I'm going first.
Yeah. We have the Packers at the Broncos. Packers are 1.5-point favorites, opened at -2. The over-under set at 45, opened at 46, so not much movement there. First half line, Green Bay's favored by 1.5 too, and then the over-under set at 21.5. And please take over because this is ugly.
That's a great spot for Green Bay, in my opinion. Coming off a bye, Aaron Jones is back. That the team only goes as far as Aaron Jones go because we saw AJ Dillon's not a number 1 running back. But do I like him getting 8 carries a game, maybe a reception in the backfield? That's fine. He's not a good lead back. Now the passing game can open up because Jordan Love, he's still he's still a rookie. I know he's not a rookie.
He is.
But he's still a rookie, man. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to do bad. He had a horrible game against the Raiders. But this is a good learning experience for him. Denver's wholesale on their team. Sean Payton doesn't have the locker room. Every Denver game goes over. I mean, I know it's 4-2 to the total, but like a lot of Denver games go over. I think Green Bay can score 20-some points here. I trust their defense. They're a little healthier right now to shut down Russell Wilson. I just think this is a really good spot for Green Bay. The fact that they're road favorites is telling here. So I like Green Bay, and it's one of my favorite bets. That and Pitt are like my favorite bets of the 4 o'clock. No, I got Seattle too. I like all 3 of those plays in the window.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's an ugly game. I'm still not going to shy away from the fact that it's an ugly game. But Green Bay, off of a rest spot here on the bye, going up against the Broncos, who are just fucking horrible this year. No surprise. Jordan Love, yes, he may be one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks in the league right now, but as you said, rookie can make mistakes. And I think the rest is going to serve him well here, especially with Aaron Jones coming back. They have a little bit more of a dynamic offense. Aaron Jones is definitely a lead running back and can catch balls off those wheel routes. So that'll help out in the tight spots that Jordan Love just needs to get the ball out and let Aaron Jones do Aaron Jones things. So yeah, I'm with you on the money line. I'm not going to take the 1.5. Just the money line is probably going to be -120. Let me see what it's at here. It is.
Yeah, there's no reason to get greedy. No reason to get greedy.
Yeah, -123. Just take it.
God forbid they win like 24-23.
That will be the worst fucking push.
It won't be the first time it's happened to me. So yeah, no reason to get greedy here at all.
Yeah, the line.
If anything, I'd say buy it up to 2.5 and just get plus money if you don't want. Like,
yeah,
weird fucking number, man.
Yeah, no, the line is moved to -1 now, so the money line is the only way to go.
Wiz, can I offer you a 5-1 versus a 5-1 game? Can I offer you that on this slate? We deserve it after what we've gone over so far.
I think so.
The marquee match, Miami and Philly. I have a lot to say about this one when it's my turn. Miami and Philly. Philly -2, short home favorite. The total has dipped a little bit, but still enormous, 51.5. The halftime line is 24.5, is kind of a jerk number for the first half. Both teams have been good against the spread. I just want to mention before I pass to you these totals. This Eagles 3-3 and Miami 4-2. The Eagles totals have been huge this year because they're basing it off of last year. So, I know like the Rams when they lost, but the first half total hit. Their games have played out a little strange, but Wiz, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I like quite a bit in this game. First and foremost, it's going to be the total. I like the over 51.5 here. I think both defenses do struggle The Dolphins obviously not notorious for their defensive style of football. It's all offense, and they just blow out their opponents. And the Eagles' defense this year has been banged up, hurt, and also just has not looked all that good. Um, Second bet I have on this game, when the line was at 2.5, I did buy the half point, and I took Miami here at +3. I think they can keep this close. I think their offense is better than the Eagles' offense here, and the Eagles do tend to struggle with the big boom plays. So Tyreek Hill likely has another field day here. I think it's either him or Waddle or both that just go off and hit their totals. And Tyreek has been consistent this whole season, getting over his receiving total every single game. So I'm taking Tyreek Hill yards. It's just not a question at this point in the season. So give me those three. My favorite of the three is the over.
Okay. I have a couple things to say here since we've skimmed past a lot of these shitty games.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Eagles injury report right now because it's gruesome. Their whole secondary is hurt. Job is still playing. Now Reed Blankenship is probably going to be out. Devonta Smith didn't practice. I don't know if that's just precautionary or maybe this is why they brought in Julio Jones, but I didn't see him get hurt. I just saw him drop passes. So I don't know if he's hurt or what's going on. I'm starting to wonder, maybe there was an incident in the locker room. I'm wondering if there was an incident in the locker room after the game because he didn't look hurt, and all of a sudden they sign on the receiver. It's weird. And they sign a receiver who's like, I don't know what the fuck they think Julio Jones is going to do. Like, I don't get it. But the most important injury is Lane Johnson. And Lane Johnson, I can tell you as somebody who lives in the area, this team goes as Lane Johnson goes. And if you don't believe me from watching the games, oh, shit. Now I see a jerk in the chat.
Here he is.
So, of course, as soon as
we
start talking about the Eagles.
The bench
after, congratulations on winning the 2009 Super Bowl, guys.
He's going to go off to the bench after he tries to run for 30 yards and pulls his hamstring.
The Eagles all time without Lane Johnson are 11-23. And you saw it last week against the Jets. As soon as he came out of that game, Jets got crazy pressure, making Hurts make bad decisions. They can't run the ball. Their secondary can't stop anybody right now. I mentioned before with Detroit and Baltimore that, like, if Detroit had to lose a game, this one was okay. The Eagles are playing for the 1 seed, so no loss is truly acceptable. But again, you lose to somebody out of conference, you can accept it. And I just think the Eagles, there's too many injuries. The one thing I will mention, it is supposed to be very windy. It's supposed to be a very, very windy night in Philly. Will that limit Tyreek Hill? No, because nothing limits Tyreek Hill, man. You throw him an 8-yard out, he runs 60 yards. It doesn't matter. If anything, it makes me like Waddle a lot in this spot too. Just getting 10-yard passes. Maybe my favorite asshole on that team, River Craycraft, gets like 3 catches just because for reasons. Because like I don't play him in DFS or whatever. I think Miami has a field day here. I think the Eagles are really going to struggle to get the ground game going without Lane Johnson. And I think Miami kind of crushes them. I'm not going to play the over like you are, but I am going to play the Miami's team total over 25.5.
That's fair.
I actually think the Eagles could have like an absolutely, like, this could be like Pat will hear me yelling from my apartment to his house if Miami just like runs up the score. My friend is on a sober October right now. I think I can say that. I don't think he minds. We all take, breaks. I think this is the game that drives him back to drinking. That is my prediction, Mr. Patty Mac. And the bar misses you. I miss you. What does Champ Kind say? I miss your musk. When this is all over, we should get an apartment together. That's my guy. Very possible. He knows. All right. Final game of the slate. Monday night game. Check the injury report big time for this. I have a prop I like. San Fran at Minnesota. San Fran, coming off a loss with all their injuries, are still a touchdown favorite over Minnesota without Jefferson. The total's kind of what I thought. 44 even seems a little high, but that's where it is. It's in the dome. San Francisco has been good against spread totals. Minnesota has been an absolute fucking dumpster fire. I feel like their season might be over. We got Wiz.
I got the glasses.
Oh, shit. Wow. If you by the way, if you take like San Francisco money line, I quit.
No.
Okay. Well, who knows with you, man?
No, come on now. I'm not gonna tip a minus 5 million favorite as my game and bet of the week. But bet of the week. Niners first half team total over. Take it.
It's got to be
guaranteed.
What is it? 11 and a half, 12 and a half. It's got to be. I'm pulling up right now. It's got to be low.
Check it out.
I got it. I'm pulling up right now.
As long as it's 13 and a half or lower.
Oh, it's not going to. With 21 and a half, it won't be. 12 and a half minus 127 on my book.
Yep, taking it. Yeah, no doubt. Right. Going back to what I was saying earlier about what I look for in these spots, it's time of possession and it's the defense on the other side. You have the Niners defense going up against Kirk Cousins, my best friend this season. This fucker that lost me 3 team totals back-to-back weeks, throwing interceptions in the red zone, throwing interceptions in the middle of the field. Their offensive line is a little banged up too. I just think the Niners are going to rush him off the field. And with this game being in the dome, I don't think the weather's going to really have too much of an effect at all here. So sure, the Debo injury concerns me with the Niners. Sure, some of that offensive line is a little banged up too. But I think this is the ultimate bounce back spot for Brock Purdy here to shine up. It's similar to the spot that the Cowboys were in this past week, or yesterday, I should say. They had a game that they weren't expecting to lose, and they got blown out. Similar thing. So I'm taking the Niners here. I think the offense steps up. I think the offensive line steps up for them. And I do think the defense gets a couple of takeaways throughout the whole game. I'm not just saying the first half. But Kirk Cousins' interception has to be on the board here. Niners as a teaser spot also on the board for me. The 3-team teaser I'm looking at would be the Niners, the Seahawks, and then the Bills. You get them all at plus points. So that's my teaser of the week here. And yeah, bet of the week. Niners first half team total over. Can't say goodbye.
I see Pat calling for a Chris Carter prop in the chat. So why don't we just talk about like a Fuad Reves kicking prop while we're at it? For all you true old heads, go Fuad Reves or that little I'm South African. Gary Anderson, South African. Fucking asshole. Gary Anderson. South African. I like the Kirk pick. It's going to be like minus 290 or minus.
Minus 290. Value. Not like Anshul Jubilee minus 400.
Klein saucer. The only thing I wanted. I mean, look, this is going to sound really simple, and Jared already said it in the chat, but like, Ayuk's the healthiest guy they have. So like, whatever his props are, I'll probably load up. Like, he's going to be their healthiest guy. You know, all these people like fucking hate Purdy, and it's crazy to me. It's like, dude, he lost 1 game in the regular season, and the Niners are so good. Dude, he's still good. I think he threw his first pick of the year last game. Like, the he's good, man. Like,
and I'm the biggest Niner hater because of my brother. My ear gets blown off every fucking week. But what did he do in that freaking last drive? He got them to where they needed to be. He didn't fall short under that pressure. Simple as that.
I mean, dude, look, is he on a good team? Yes. Is he on a well-coached team? Yes. You still got to go do it.
Yep.
Everybody said that for Brady for like the first 15 years of career. Oh, it's a good system. Come on, man. Like, the only thing that hurt Brady is that like Matt Castle went in there and went 12-4. But like, you know, Matt Castle's a legend. Or 11-5 or whatever. I think they went 11-5 and didn't make the playoffs. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna look at Ayuk overs when they come out. I have a 7-leg teaser that I wrote down. I'm not saying I'm doing a 7-leg teaser, but I found 7 pieces I like.
But you're saying you're doing it.
Nah, I don't. No, because I never win these kind of bets. But I would tease the Cleveland, Detroit, and Pittsburgh unders. You'd get Cleveland at 45.5. They could play 8 quarters. I don't know if they get that many. Buffalo to 2.5. Seattle to 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm breaking one of my rules here because I'm crossing 0. But Green Bay to 5.5 and Miami to plus 8.5. And that's plus 688 for a 7-leg teaser. I don't like typically tease anything. And if I do, it's not more than 3 legs. But I don't know. They all look, and I don't like teasing totals that much, but I feel like the Buffalo 2.5, the Seattle 1.5, and Green Bay not getting killed, and Miami plus 8.5 all seem fairly solid to me as teaser look. And this game, I'm just not including this game because it's the next day. I don't have the fucking patience to wait another day for my teaser. But yeah, raisin balls. Please. See, yeah, raisin balls. No, just put up what Pat said because I know Luke wants this. I know, but Luke needs this. For fuck the Gary Anderson. Raisin balls like the Virgil. He is raisin balls piece of shit. He's worse than the Nikolai. Worse than the Tito Santana. No cocaine like the Jake the Snake Roberts. There. I know Luke tunes in just for the Iron Sheik.
It's time to play the game.
So, yeah, that's all I got on this one. And there we go. See, I got Luke. I good things come to those who wait, dude. Good things come to those who wait. Well, there's the slate, Wiz. 13 games.
Yeah, easy peasy.
A lot of bye weeks.
That was a quick one. This is probably our quickest episode of the season so far.
13 games and somehow 12 of them fucking suck, dude.
Yep. We were texting before the show, and I was like, Luke, I only like 3 bets, like total. I only like 3 of them locked in. So it's gonna be a bad one. It's gonna be quick, but it's gonna be a horrible slate. And hopefully next week, looking forward to it a little bit more than this one. But yeah, this is just a massacre. And I see some people with some wild takes on some of these ones. So I'm like, how are you so confident in a Bears +3? I'm not gonna name names, but yeah, very, very bad.
Yeah, man.
Borat would be very displeased with this one. Borat would be like, I'm very not nice. I'm not excited.
No, I like the NFL, the ping pong, and rapes.
Like a rape.
He thought she'd get my sister, and get out of your cage. He got out of his cage. He has a sister.
Whoa. All right, guys. That is the end of the show. Mr. Lou, tell the people what you have going on.
Happy hour tomorrow at midnight with Munkelstein. He's back. But more importantly than any of that shit, and even more importantly than this for me, personal milestone tonight at 10 o'clock, live Eastern on the MMA Engine channel. Couch Warrior and I'm supposed to have Paul Shaughnessy. I'm not going to say, it's not my business to say. Paul will be back on the show soon. Couch Warrior will be joining me for the 1-year anniversary of Props to Consider. We made it despite Mushroom and Jewish Better trying to get me thrown off the air with some of their slurs. I have maintained, I have grown, and celebrate 1 year today with my guy, Michael, Couch Warrior. And I guarantee you, he will not be happy with anything I say about Jubilee.
Please annihilate him. I want a massacre.
Luke, are you betting Breeden or are you just not betting it? There's no way. If Luke tells me he's betting Jubilee, we got to ban him.
Luke is
not
too
betting
reasonable.
Jubilee, is he?
Luke is a good guy. Luke will not bet -400 on Indian Anshul Jubilee. Nothing against the Indians, but they didn't do Cleveland.
Dude, they're talking in Luke's chat, or not Luke's chat. He's not betting it. They're talking in Liam's chat today. Like like Liam's playing this narrative where like he represents all of Indian MMA, and I'm like, dude, there's 1 billion fucking people in India. What'd they do? They have a tough man contest with all billion of them, and this guy won. And it's like, all right, dude, you're our hopes. Just like, no, dude. He's just a guy they found on a show. They're like, he fights. Let's see. Like, dude, if he loses, because he's like, oh man, they need that Indian market. I'm like, okay, but if this guy loses, they'll just fucking run more tournaments, dude. Like, they'll look at this guy ain't it. I mean, Breeden stinks, but this guy ain't it. Yeah, right.
Just saw this.
Buller. Ariane Boulier.
My sister, number 4 prostitute in Kazakhstan.
She gets no clock radio. So yeah, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock props to consider, and then maybe bet. And then yeah.
I will think about it, Justin. Haven't locked it in yet. Yeah, guys, I will be back this week for the 1-minute breakdowns. I took a hiatus last week because did not have any time. But that's the only show I have going on besides this one. So until next week, see y'all later. Don't miss us too much.